Here in the SHL quarterfinals, best 2 out of 3 series starts tonight. This is the win truck as possible, alongside Gerard Boris, our video producer. My name is Dylan Ward, alongside John Ward here to my left. Alongside John Ward here to my left at this beautiful open in the last calendar year.
Yeah, Dylan, this place looks fantastic. Of course, I did a couple U-turns trying to get here because my map wouldn't get me in right away, but when I finally got here, I was quite impressed tonight.
Well, the Titans ended the SHL regular season on a hot streak, 7-3 in their final 10 games of the season. All right, I believe we're back on the air. Gerard Boris, the Wizard, back at it again. Quick to fix the technical issue we had. But as we were talking about, the Titans had a hot end of the regular season, 7-3. But John, in their final game of regular season play, they faced off against these very same Loyola Ramblers, who won that game 3-1. And now they'll play them back-to-back, what will be at least 3 times in a row, maybe 4 if this series goes the distance. Loyola took that one at Glenview Ice Center, but the Titans, in spite of being the lower seed, have the edge in the regular season series, taking 2 out of 3 against these Ramblers.
Yeah, I think GBS just has to put together some positive thoughts and come out charging. You know, like that's one thing good about a bad short-term memory, right? Coach wants them to forget about that last game of the season, think about the other things that happened during the season, the positive things, and then put that stuff together tonight for a win.
Well, the Titans have been comeback machines in their last couple of games. In 7 of their last 8 games of the season, they allowed the first goal, but in that stretch, a record of 5-3, including 2 big comeback wins over the Glenbrook North Spartans. The season series went 3-0 GBS. Thomas Preston with a 33-save shutout back on November 16th. Then on December 14th at Heartland again, GBS won 5-2. And then, as I just mentioned, on January 31st, just a couple of days ago, they lost 3-1. But John, this series is going to be a battle of the defense and goaltenders. GBS with the 3rd fewest goals allowed per game on average, Loyola with the 2nd fewest. And that's a big part in both netminders, Thomas Preston for the Titans and Charlie Trapp for the Ramblers. Both these teams' main guys, both will get the start here tonight. Yeah,
I don't think you're going to see any kind of a runaway from either one of these teams. You know, it's probably going to be on the low end of the scoring, especially with the netminders and the defensive core for each one of these teams. I know that Preston's been in there, Dylan. You know, I've been around, and he was a freshman on the varsity team. So you're just going to have to call on him to come up with a really, really great performance if they're going to come out of with a win tonight. Looking on the Loyola side of things, they are red hot as well. They finished the SHL season on a 7-game winning streak, outscoring their opponents 33-17, averaging just under 5 goals per game. Power play in the winning streak, 5 for 17. Their penalty kill in the winning streak, 22 for 22. Last time they allowed a PPG was against St. Viator back on January the 10th. So the Titans get an opportunity on the power play. They're going to have their work cut out for them tonight, but bit of a cliche, sure, but once you get to the playoffs, it is so true. You throw all the previous stats out the window, it's a different game. Yeah, I just think that if you get to have a man advantage, you know, GBS is going to have to crack Loyola's code, you know, and just try to figure out how to manipulate that and put everything to their advantage. So let's just see how it goes, you know, how important special teams are tonight, depending on what happens. So I'm excited for the game. Thomas Preston gets the start for Jim Philbin, an SHL record of 14-10-2, 245 goals allowed average and a .920 save percentage, 3 shutouts to his name. On the other side of things, Charlie Trapp will go for Loyola. Not in his net yet, still at the bench, but he has been maybe the goaltender of the year. Officially, it went to Logan Marsh, the Lake Forest Scouts, but neck and neck, 11-5-2 on the season, a 181 goals allowed average, a .938 save percentage, and 3 shutouts. Anytime you can get that goals allowed average sub 2, you've got a pretty good goalie. Well, I'm excited to see some really good hockey. You're talking about Trapp. Yeah, well-deserved, all of the comments that you're making about him, coming in second in the most valuable player award. But, listen, this game we got, you got to lace them up. You got to come out. You got to play 17 times 3. You got to put some really, really good periods together. Let's see how these teams start. You got to watch out because some teams can get caught off guard. You don't want, let's say, GBS to go down by any substantial amount. So,
4-man officiating crew as per the norm in the Scholastic Hockey League. Opening faceoff will be taken by Asher Vanderplug against his former teammate's younger brother, Connor McCauley, at center ice. Drop of the puck, and we are underway in Rosemont. Hope you're kicked back and ready for some playoff hockey here on the South Hockey Network. First round of the SHL quarterfinals. Loyola in the maroon jerseys. They'll go from right to left. Glenbrook South in the white and light blue. They'll go from left to right. Here's Thomas. Nicholas Thomas. He's been red hot as of late. Left it for McCauley. Far side corner. Loyola maintains the first offensive zone possession of the series. This one bounces right to the blue paint. Titans look to clear it out, but Donato keeps it in, wraps it around the boards. Goes to the far side where it's picked up by Smiley. He tries a shot. That's blocked by Will Fagan. And here comes Will Fagan down the left wing side. Rips one, and that goes wide of Charlie Trapp's net. Try to follow up. That first one blocked. Second one just stays in the rink off the high glass in the corner. Loyola deflects this one out. Will it have enough? Yes. By the way, we have not mentioned yet that the Titans are without a huge part of their lineup. Blake Hoffer not available tonight due to illness. He's questionable for tomorrow. The Titans' overall season leading point scorer with 32 goals, 33 assists, and 65 points. SHL-wise, he was tied for Owen Cosmeter with 30 on top of the team leaderboard.
Yeah, big minus for GBS. We'll have to see how this all plays out, but like anybody else, you just gotta, face the adversity and figure it out.
The illness is different from an injury, right? Because if it was an injury, he'd be here in the barn with his team, but unfortunately, he's at home. I'd have to assume he's watching, so Blake, shout out to you. It's fun to call a game with you earlier this season when you were out injured, but just illness today, and hopefully we see you back here tomorrow, if not soon.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody's hoping that whatever Blake's doing to get recovered, he gets recovered by tomorrow.
Face-off won by Loyola. Here's a shot, that one high of the net. Alex Tutai can't clear the zone. Kading keeps it alive, takes a shot, and that one's held on to. Alex Tutai on a bit of a streak here. 3-game point streak, 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points. Scored the Titans' lone goal in their last game a week ago against Loyola.
I remember Mr. Tutai was playing in a game, and we were on the west side, and he was playing on the east side. I know his mother, and he had scored 4 goals in that game.
That's right. That was Varsity 2 last season. That's a great pickup by you. I do remember that in Northbrook. Face-off taken by Glenbrook South. Here is Luke Fagan. Neck guard falls onto the ice as this is played out to the neutral zone. McCrulis goes to Owen Cosmeter, but steps into the zone before the puck came across the line. That'll be offside.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to bring that over the blue line, and it just came off his stick for a second, and then he was already in the zone before he touched the puck.
Rosemont Ice Arena, the neutral site for the first 2 games of the SHL quarterfinals. Loyola, the designated home team, as the higher seed, has the home bench, has the last change. They'll switch places tomorrow night for game 2 of the series, where Glenbrook South will be the home team. If the series requires a 3rd game, that would be next week at American Heartland Ice Arena. So as the higher seed, you do earn the right to host a potential game 3. As Vanderplug shovels this one out of the zone. Charlie Trapp wanted an icing, not going to get one as it deflected off McCrulis. Then he chases after the puck. Tries a shot from a tough angle, that didn't work out. Asher Vanderplug fires a shot. Missed the cage off the end boards, gets it back off his skates, and comes to the near side for Ryan Mulvey. Playing in his 4th varsity SHL playoffs along with Asher Vanderploeg. Here's a shot, and that one, an awkward save from Charlie Trapp. McCrulis, top of the left circle. Puck poked away from him, and it just comes outside the zone. Afterwards, Mendoza is knocked down to the ice. Close offside. We'll watch it one more time.
Yeah, I think that was the right call by the referee. I mean, he was standing right there, just coming, then you get to see a little white between the puck and the blue line, so.
71 on 71 there, Lochnicki against Mendoza as we go back to the neutral zone for the face-off. This one's sent in. Trapp leaves it for the Ramblers. Gonna punch that one out, but couldn't. Will Fagan up top. That shot is blocked by Gabal. Now Jackson Ventura. Back up to Will Fagan. Right point. Off the near boards, and Loyola still can't get this one out of the zone. Now they finally do. Look out. What a play there by Anthony Pinto, preventing what would have been a 3-on-1, if not 3-on-0.
Big time play.
Now pass to the near side, finds Charlie Preston, centered it. Weiss just mishandled it, and Loyola will play it off the boards and out. Gabal goes ahead to Luke Radel, sending this one in. Chased after by Nick Perino, but getting there first is Pinto. Weiss able to just shove this one out of the zone. Titans close on a change there, but nothing will get called. Will Fagan out to neutral ice. Would have been an icing, but it went right on net. In fact, just about to the center of it. So we will play on. GBS below the goal line to Buchanan. To play that one back up to Will Fagan, but sticking the way there from Nick Thomas. Now out to Joe Bear. Joe Bear with a shot, and that one's blocked and sent aside. Luke Joe Bear red hot. 6-game point streak, 5 goals, 9 assists for 14 total. As this shot by Donato is stopped by Preston. Now McCauley sends one to the net. Save made by Preston, and wanting a potential rebound was Luke Joe Bear. In fact, in Joe Bear's last 6 games, the GBS game a week ago was the only game he didn't score multiple points as 2 mechanic stick snaps on him. Will Fagan around the boards, out to Graham Vanderploeg, who shoves that one out to neutral ice, and the Titans will change as many as they can. Here's Max Kading, has to navigate a broken stick, dropped it off Blazejowski with a shot, and that wouldn't go. Jack Blazejowski wraps it around, goes up top. Smiley to the near side, Donato. Takes a shot, deflected off Will Fagan, sticking off the side of the cage. Asher Vanderploeg. Out to Luke Fagan. Get past Berghoff, but now it goes to McCrulis. He'll shovel this one in. Picked up by Max Kading off the end boards and goes to Blazejowski. 0-0 game, still somewhat early on here in game 1 of the SHL quarterfinals, round 1 of the playoffs here in the Scholastic Hockey League. Mulvey off the boards, goes to Owen Kosmeter. Kosmeter, the far side, puck knocked off his stick. He's making his SHL playoff debut. Mulvey, shot from neutral ice, blockered away by Trapp, and it goes out to the neutral zone and beyond. Shots on goal, 4-3 in favor of Loyola. As Kosmeter enters the zone once again, down the right wing side, gets around a man, just couldn't. A shot on net afterwards. Now Kosmeter far side corner, he's knocked off the puck, and Loyola's captain John Dwyer looked to get it out. Here's a shot from up top, Mulvey with Boris looking for a deflection, but it just goes wide. Look out near the Titan bench. They do complete that change on time. Second too many men scare of the game. And now Jonah Weiss with speed. He's over the line. Weiss with a shot. Blockered away by Trapp again. Zach Boris, far side corner. Goes down to Tutai with it. Knocked away. Alex Tutai to the far side half wall. Puck high in the air, and they can't get it out. Now they will bring it out. John Dwyer. Look, we're going on 3-4 minutes without a whistle here.
Yeah, I love the speed of the game. The guys are starting to pick up their speed. And
Caster's curse.
The Caster's
on
curse.
cue.
Dylan, we recently did a game where I think we had over 9-10 minutes without a call.
Up in West Bend.
Right.
Glenbrook South, Loyola Gold. Go ahead, John.
I was just going to say, this defensive faceoff, this is going to be important all night. All night faceoffs, I think, are going to play a key part of this.
This faceoff is taken by the Titans. Luke Fagan goes to the far side. Pinto out to the neutral zone, intercepted by Christopher Gall. Gall in for Luke Radel down the left wing side. Shot and a save made by Preston. The follow-up could not be finished either. Now they battle for the puck below the Titan goal line. We are at the Chicago Wolves practice facility, so you will notice the trapezoid behind the nets. That is, of course, in high school hockey, not a factor. The goalie can touch the puck wherever he wants. But because AHL practices take place on this very sheet, you got to have it. Now that puck goes into the penalty box. And
Dylan, if we have a replay on that last shot that Preston made the stop on, you watch the transition here, and it's picked up by the Loyola player. Quick shot, but it goes straight out, and Pereno, it actually just, we get lucky because now on this angle you see it just bounces over his stick. If it was on the ice, it'd probably be a goal.
Yeah. But no goal yet for either team. The Titans technically underdogs according to the seed, but you got to think there is a level of confidence having beaten Loyola 2 out of 3 times. Also with GBS as the 6th seed, Loyola as the 3 seed, John, a wild stat. In the last 4 seasons, the 6th seed has beaten the 3 seed in the SHL quarterfinals. The Titans have done that and been victim to that in that stretch. Here's McCauley below the goal line, sent in front, nobody there. Punch back up high, Donato with a shot, deflected and just goes wide. Now right in front, here's a one-timer by Jobert, that's stopped. Titans need to get it out. Charlie Preston can't, here's a shot from the point, in and out of the glove of Preston. Now Charlie Preston able to help that one out of the zone. Donato will knock it back in. And Thomas Preston has to make a save from the neutral zone.
He had to make a couple saves there, Dylan. They racked about 3 shots up on net, and he answered the call every time.
Here's Donato into the zone, faked a slap shot. Now he'll fire a wrister, and that one is into the glove of Preston, and finally the players out there can take a breath.
Yeah, if you take a look here, Loyola is just pressing all over the place, right? Here's the first shot, and actually he makes the glove stop, but he doesn't collapse his glove around it, and it comes down for the rebound. You might see a different...
As much as we can, here are the Titans. Weiss. We apologize if we've been having any technical difficulties here on this broadcast. We're trying to get an internet issue beyond our control straightened out. Hopefully we're back looking good and sounding good for the time being. This will be sent down by Loyola. No icing there. Looked like it could have been. As Teddy McCrulis back the other way. Ryan Mulvey gets into it with McCauley. Back down low. Here's Asher Vanderplug now. Takes a shot, stopped by Trapp. Vanderplug, a big contributor in the season series against Loyola, with 2 goals and an assist in those 3 games. Connor McCauley. He's taken down. Loyola fans want a penalty, but it was somewhat light, and we'll continue on here. McCauley keeps it in at the blue line, sends it down to the near side circle for Thomas. Back up to McCauley. Tries a backhand floater, and that's intercepted by Asher Vanderplug off the boards and out. Will Fagan to the far side. Now another close call on too many men, but that never touched a skate or any part of the body at the Loyola bench.
Yeah, Dylan, I think GBS got to be a little bit more deliberate, a little bit more purposeful in trying to get this puck out of their own zone. Maybe not like that. That was a quick outlet pass, but a couple times I think I've caught them just kind of being a little lackadaisical, trying to get it out, or the last initial hit that they think the puck is going out of the zone is just maybe half the power it should be. So they got to be a little bit more serious about getting that puck out.
Left wing face-off. Kading against Weiss. There's a shot from seemingly thin air, but Preston able to make the stop. He's 10 for 10. Blazejowski over to Pinto. Now near side, Jonah Weiss. Out of the zone, sent right back in to Anthony Pinto. On the defensive side, Pinto's had a great game so far. Now off the boards, this one goes to Weiss, shovels a backhander towards the net, save made, and Tutai looking to catch the goaltender out of position. He could not. Final 3 minutes of the first period. Jack Blazejowski up to Luke Berghoff, just onside, maybe not. I thought it was close, and the linesman will call it.
Well, I think they got a little bit of a break there, too, because if you take a look here, the Loyola player is bringing it up here. He just kind of feathers a little saucer pass to try to get over that stick. He achieves that goal, but then his Loyola player just had about a half a foot inside the zone.
Interesting. Face-off at center ice to get us back underway. You don't see a lot of mid-game center ice face-offs. Now Vanderplug over to Kosmeter. Tried to go back to Vanderplug back door, but could not connect there. As far as 0-0 games go, lots of opportunities. Both goaltenders have been stealing the show, but now here comes Loyola. 2-on-1, Peter Lochnicki goes across, and here's a backhand shot. Big save made by Preston, just getting enough of his right pad out there. Wow.
Up, there's a stop and play. I think maybe he's hurt or something. But if we take a look at this replay, this is what I call not cutting your toenails for a purpose, right? Watch this thing come, and the puck just keeps it out of there. What a fantastic save. And then he also has the presence of mind to play that off of that right pad of his and then kick it out and get it out of the danger zone.
Thomas Preston has been incredible against Loyola this season. Played all 3 games in the season series. A 133 goals allowed average, 957 save percentage. A shutout as well in that 3-0 win back in November. Here comes Teddy McCrulis. He's over the line left wing side. McCrulis gets the puck knocked off his stick by Gall. The sophomore McCrulis also making his varsity SHL playoff debut. Here's Pereno now. Penalty coming up against GBS. Delayed call. Tingle with a shot from the left point. Stopped by Preston. No possession yet. Tingle back up high. Sends it down low. Pereno just tips that one. Just missed that top left corner. But a tripping call is going to go against the Titans.
I did not see the tripping call. It's got to happen here in the corner.
I didn't either.
Just a little bit off.
This is the deflection.
I think he's already got the ref's got the hand up. But this is a really, really neat deflection. And Preston's shoulder, if we can see here, this is very, very unexpected because it comes in from the point, just a little redirection. It almost looks like it kind of went past him and might have hit the post.
Luke Fagan, the guilty party. And Loyola will head to the power play. Ramblers have scored a power play goal in each of their last 5 games, but the penalty kill for the Titans has been solid as of late.
You got the big assist man dying on the point here.
18 for 19 in their last 11 games with a shorthanded goal scored in that time. So that means, John, in their last 11 games, they've got an even goal differential on the PK of 1-1. All right, Loyola wins the faceoff. Dine to the near side, Donato. Down to the corner. Right in front, but that tips down to the far side corner. Nearing the final minute of the period. Here's a shot from the top of the circle off the stick of Hoffman. That one stopped by Preston. Nick Thomas keeps it alive. Back up to Donato. Left point. Fires a shot. Mesa bodies. And they scramble, and Preston keeps it out. And the Titans will clear it to the neutral zone.
Well, that was impressive, man. That was a lot of traffic in front of the net. And for that puck not to go in, GBS got lucky on that one.
Now Henry Hoffman has it again, takes a shot blocked by Vanderplug. Donato faked the shot, now he'll take one, another block by Vanderplug. And with some help from Will Fagan, the Titans clear it again. Donato but just offside. Let's take a look at these two, or this save, I should say, from Preston.
Yeah, if you take a look here, the shots come in. You can see how the lane just closes down, but the puck ends up dropping down in front of the slot here. You can see this. I don't know if he does make a stop or hits a player. I think it hits a player, but boom, it just, you know, look at how fast those legs are moving on Preston. Man, he's doing a big kick out pretty quickly. He's made some impressive saves with those legs.
Time winding down in the first period of play. Puck being battled for below the goal line. Will Fagan will clear this one out. No icing, of course, as the Titans are shorthanded. I don't think Loyola's going to, and they will not take any chances here as Tommy Tingle hangs onto the puck and the buzzer sounds. After period number 1, an eventful game so far, but no goals yet. 15-8, the shots on goal in favor of the Ramblers.
Dylan, I thought that was a really hard-fought period by both teams. Minimal, you know, I mean, there was some big hits, but, you know, no penalty, but no big penalties being called, right? Maybe a couple, but, I mean, this is a great rivalry, and I don't know if I should tell the fan. Well, I tell them anyway, but you know, Loyola is my alma mater, so, you know, it's hard for me to come back here and be a GBS fan when I want, you know, and went to Loyola. But I knew a lot of people that played on the Loyola hockey team. But it's a great organization, better organization by GBS, right? Philbin with a long history of being behind that bench. And he's talking to them right now. He's saying, hey, this is a successful game so far. Let's keep it up, and let's put that first one in the back of the net.
Teams will switch sides, so it'll be the period of the long change. And, John, we've seen that be a factor here in this first period. Team defensively having to take a long shift because of that relentless pressure. And it just makes it that much harder in the second period. The power play will carry over, unlike higher level hockey leagues. You don't get the fresh sheet of ice on the power play to start the new period, but you do switch sides and go back to center ice for the faceoff. The Titans have had trouble scoring in the first period as of late. First period goal differential of just 1-8 in their last now 9 games, including this one. But if you look at their period by period goal differential splits on the season, -5 in the first, +15 in the second, +10 in the third. So they can get over that hump. Second period's been good to them as of late.
You know, if everybody's thinking that everything changes when you lace them up in the playoffs, then you can't really look back on that stat. You know, hopefully they can make that, you know, come to fruition and just say, okay, there you go. That's why we have those numbers and such more success in the second period versus the first period. But, you know, I really like the speed of the game. These guys are really flying. I think GBS needs a little bit more, you know, of an offensive punch. They're down 15-8 on shots on goal, and I think you can kind of see that here. You know, let's see if they can give a little bit of relief to Preston and start putting it on trap.
Loyola on pace for 45 shots. They've only gone above 40 4 times in the 27-game SHL regular season. Don't be shy, folks. Leave us a chat in the chat room, and we will give you a shout out and throw your chat up on the screen. We're underway in the second. Here's Joe Bear right off the hop, takes a shot blocked by the stick of Will Fagan. Now McCauley far side, missed his man on the pass, and Owen Cosmeter will bring it out. Needs some help. Cosmeter taken down. That'll be a penalty, this time against Loyola.
You know, Cosmeter's speed just caused that whole thing to happen, but I have something to say. On the breakout, it's only Cosmeter, and you can see the Loyola players all coming back, so it's like a 1-on-5. So number one, I think that GBS is going to have to get their legs moving, but it's fantastic that he was able to draw a penalty out of that. It was a 1-on-5, right? That player didn't need to do that, but I think he just got a little nervous that Cosmeter was going to swing around him. So good for Cosmeter.
So the Titans are going to the power play, but not before, I should say, 18 seconds of 4-on-4 hockey. As Will Fagan has it up top. Owen Cosmeter near side, back up to Will Fagan. Takes a shot, that one wide. Out of the box is Luke Fagan. To the bench he goes for McCrulis. And now it is a Titan power play. Here's Asher Vanderploeg. Left it for Will Fagan. Top of the left circle, Fagan. Back up top, Vanderploeg. Faked a shot over to the captain, Mulvey. Ryan Mulvey faked a shot. Now takes one, and that's stopped by Trapp. Rebound backhanded out by Loyola. Blazejowski racing after the puck. He'll get there. Mulvey knocks him into the boards, but here's a turnover. Kading, and what a save made by Preston. My, oh my. Number 41, White, has been the MVP of the game so far without any doubt.
They might look back on that and say that's the thing that saved the game. You never know.
Now Asher Vanderploeg splitting the D. Wraps it around, but misses pass, gives it up. Gabal now out to Donato, who gets around Mulvey. Anthony Donato around another one, then he's knocked off the puck by Will Fagan. Nice play. 40 seconds to go in the power play for the Titans. Cosmeter, one touches it around Dwyer. Cosmeter back up to the point for Mulvey. Near side, Will Fagan has space. Fagan's knocked off the puck now, but swooping in there is Weiss. Jonah Weiss, top of the circle. Goes over to Brian Mulvey again. Now up to Will Fagan. High slot, takes a shot, and that's blocked by Smiley. Puck pops free again. Mulvey lets one go, and that's wide. Kept in the zone by Will Fagan. Down to the slot, deflected by Weiss, and then Cosmeter's backhand hit the side of the net. Time running out on the Titan power play, and it has been killed off by Loyola. We stay 0-0.
Wow, that's a lot of action, man. That was really cool.
Now out to the neutral zone, Boris. Luke Fagan will throw that one into the zone. Dine backhands it out to the neutral zone. Luke Fagan now up to Zach Boris. Boris down the left wing side. Gonna get around Dine, but he'll take the puck back. Send it to the far side. Up for Pinto. Right near the Raising Cane's advertisement. Tutai centers it. Taken away by Jobert, and out to McCauley. Boris gives it up. Here's a shot by Jobert, and that gets deflected wide. No save needed there for Preston. Now Pinto out to Boris over the line, right wing side. Zach Boris with a shot blocked in close and sent high of the net off the glass. Jonah Weiss. Over to the near side corner for Dine. He's knocked into the boards by Tutai. Loyola keeps the puck, able to get this one out to Pereno, but Anthony Pinto gets there first. Sends it back in. Loyola will send it back down. Off the near boards and out, Luke Gordon for Loyola. Sends this one ahead. Jobert just offside, otherwise he would have had a chance. That was offside. Jobert was late on the change, and that costed Loyola.
That's really a fortunate whistle there because Jobert was just, he really had his legs moving and nobody was going to catch him as he came through the middle there. Now we're going to take a look at some of this. I mean, that was a pretty nifty pass. On you have your back to the slot area, and then you just backhand it because you want to get it into the zone, and man, that went right on his tape.
A little bit of pinching there by the Titans as well that left the man open for the shorthanded bid by Loyola, but unable to convert. Here's Kading with a shot. Another save made by Preston. Either that or it was blocked down low. Vanderploeg to the far side, missed Cosmeter. Now Tingle below the goal line. Loyola lifts it off the near boards, trying to get it out. Mendoza keeps it in. Out to the neutral zone. This is Jack Blazejowski, a veteran of this Rambler team. Goes to Berghoff with it, takes a shot, and another save made by Preston. Battled for near side, Blazejowski. Down to the corner, Berghoff. Below the line, Ryan Mulvey around the boards and takes a deflection off a stanchion that nearly fooled Tingle at the left point, but he is able to keep it in after all. Braden Mendoza, high in the air, into the Loyola bench, out of play. 12:06 to go here in the second. Still haven't received any chats besides that one. Come on, people. We want to talk to you. We want to hear your thoughts, questions, comments, maybe even concerns. Let us know.
Dylan, I'm pretty impressed with Blazejowski's speed. I mean, he's got, you know, he looks like he's the tallest guy on the team. Maybe Locknicki right there with him, too. And Locknicki also a threat. So you got to keep your eyes on those guys. They have long strides. They can hold the puck away from the defenseman that they're trying to get around. So they got the reach.
Donato off a face-off win for Loyola goes high. I think Loyola's had the Titans number at the face-off circle tonight too. We don't have the exact stats, but they got to be over 50%, I would have to think. Far side, Alex Tutai. Blew a tire and can't get it out. Hoffman sends it back deep. Locknicki below the goal line, but grabbed instead by Will Fagan. Backhands it out to the neutral zone for Smiley, and he'll send it in. Will Fagan out to the neutral zone, finds Zach Boris on a nice pass. Boris into the zone, fires a shot, save made by Trapp. Now Locknicki. Loose puck goes over to Donato, out to the neutral zone. Will Fagan gets a stick in the way, then gloves that one to prevent it from going out of play. Near side, Michael Smiley. Just one goal on the season for him, number 94. And on the shot, couldn't get it around Will Fagan. Now the Ramblers get it back. Centering pass intended for Hoffman. Didn't get to him. A nice stick there from Charlie Preston. Titans have had nice stick work tonight defensively. Here's Smiley up top, takes a shot, and that just flutters wide, perhaps off a deflection. Donato, right point, takes a shot, blocked by Weiss and cleared out into neutral ice. Game 1 of this best-of-3 series to decide who goes to the SHL semifinals. John, as you have gotten to know over the last few years, the Illinois high school hockey postseason is a bit complicated because you have your SHL playoffs and your state playoffs. The Titans know that they'll be facing Lake Forest Varsity 2 in the round of 32 at Glenview Ice Center. That's to be determined, but with this neutral site format of just knocking the games out here, it's going to make the SHL playoffs go by a lot faster. And last year, the SHL final was on a Wednesday and the state championship was the following Saturday. But this year, the SHL final will be finished 3 weeks before the state championship will take place. Actually, check that 2 weeks, but still, it's how it should be. You know, state should be the end-all, be-all. There's a lot of situations where a team will get knocked out of state, still be alive in their league.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was at times hard for me to keep track of because you were involved in 2 series at the same time, and one wasn't even over before you were still in the other one. So, you know, of course, I'm more used to just, you know, one series, get it done, move on.
Kept alive by Blazejowski's glove. Around one, takes a shot, blocked by his own man, Jobert.
He looks a little bit hurt.
That, yeah. Now Luke Fagan through neutral ice. Knocks this one in, Dine. Fagan battling for it. Just getting to the bench now is Jobert. Sent back the other way, no icing here. When you talk about this SHL playoffs too, yes, state is, you know, the one that'll be remembered, and that's the real bragging rights, but here's Ventura coming into the zone, shoving a backhander on Trapp. That gets stopped. The SHL playoffs are just as challenging to win, if not harder, because you're playing best 2 out of 3 series instead of just single elimination games.
Yeah, I mean, you end up playing a lot of games. I mean, I'm all for more games. You know, you hope the players are, or at least they just want to play enough to win. But you have to win more.
Berghoff up to Kading. Max Kading knocked away by Weiss. If he fell down there, it might have been.
I actually think the exact same thing, Dylan. In an extra cross check, blow on Weiss, shoved him into the boards there. That could have been called.
Each team with a 2-minute minor, that's all so far. It's been a relatively easy night for the scorekeeper. Vanderplug to Kosmeter, takes a shot, blocked by Tingle. Now down to the far side corner again. Vanderplug off the side of the cage, and the Ramblers look to get it out. Can't get past Ryan Mulvey. Now down to Owen Kosmeter. Kosmeter centered it, looking for Vanderplug. Deflected off a Rambler body. And now brought out by Gall. Over the line, he'll try and send it down to the far side corner, but it goes out of play. John, we are past the halfway point of regulation time. It is still tied up at 0.
Well, Dylan, we talked a little bit earlier before the game started that you're probably not going to see any kind of a runaway, but I maybe didn't expect it to be goose eggs on the board at this point in the game. But this is a great game to watch, and these goalies, you know, and even Thomas more than Trapp, they're setting the tone here that it's just going to be difficult to find the back of the net.
Preston 20 for 20, Trapp 11 for 11. Here's a shot at one wide. No save needed there for the Titans sophomore alternate captain in net. Here's Hoffman. Below the goal line, takes a lap. Henry Hoffman out to the neutral zone for Anthony Donato. Picked off by the Titans, played up ice, and look out for the offside. They'll get him.
GBS is not going to be happy about that, because as this puck comes kind of back past, caught everybody by surprise. I think it might even caught the GBS players by surprise, and then as they're both trying to bring it over the blue line, one couldn't figure out what the other was going to do, and I think even the GBS player hopped up on his skates because they thought that they might, nullify an offsides, but it was eventually called.
Now this one's sent in by Loyola, deflected, so no icing. Radel looked to the center for Pereno, eventually did find Nick Pereno, tries the wraparound, Preston makes the stop. And now Charlie Tubuchanik out to Graham Vanderplug, who tips this one in. Daniel Sokol racing after it too, but Donato takes it away and shoves it out to the neutral zone. Will Fagan, Graham Vanderplug, now it's Tubuchanik into the zone, in the slot, takes a shot, tied up by a couple Loyola defenders, and it's sent wide. You can see on your screen the Lake Forest Scouts. They'll be playing the York Dukes immediately following this one. It'll be the last game one to be underway. St. Viator with a 5-2 win over GBN yesterday. How about St. Ignatius with the big comeback victory against New Trier Green, 2-1, and they lead 1-0 in that series. Tomorrow, all 4 series will play their game 2. The Titans facing off against Loyola at 7:20. The Titans will be hoping they're in a position to close it out if they can get the win here in game 1. Ventura out to Vanderplug, missed him, goes to Gordon, who sends it in. Mendoza intercepts, plays it out to the neutral zone. Preston intercepted by Gordon, who will hack this one ahead. Luke Jobert battled for near side. The Titans able to push it out to the neutral zone. Connor McCauley now down the right wing side, heads to the net, tried to get a backhander off, but tied up defensively. And it goes out to the neutral zone again. Final 5 minutes here of period number 2. Will either team find themselves a 1-0 lead heading into the locker room?
Dylan, what Connor McCauley did right there, coming in on his right wing and then just having enough speed to break in towards the slot in the middle of the net. I've seen GBS do that tonight already, and that's a great play, because I think once you bring that puck towards the middle, all kinds of things can happen, right? Not only can that shooter score, but the puck's going to get knocked around, the goalie's going to get pushed around, right? It's actually a pretty good play to just charge that net when you know that you've got a little bit of speed on that defenseman.
Dylan Ward alongside John Ward, happy to have you with us on this Friday night. Gerard Boris, our video producer. Jonah Weiss ready for the left circle face-off, and getting booted from the dot is Maxim Kading. So instead, Luke Burkhoff comes in to take it. And the puck falls. Weiss kicks it back up top, but it's possessed first by Kading of Loyola. Maxim Kading down the right wing side. Centers it, and Blazejowski couldn't get a stick to it. Now Blazejowski with it again. Left point. Fires a shot. Preston was screened, but luckily didn't have to make a save. Now Burghoff from a tough angle. Right in on tight. Preston makes the save. Blazejowski, it's Fagan into the far side corner. And now Pinto takes a man down into the corner. Some Rambler fans wanted a call there. They're not going to get one.
I think Berghoff looked at the ref and said, where's that arm?
Now Gall fans on a shot. Zach Boris takes it back for the Titans. Boris out to the neutral zone. Two-tie out-muscles Gall to force that one into the zone. And Tingle leaves it. Boris there below the goal line to intercept. The Ramblers will now bring it out again. 23-12, Loyola dominating in the shots on goal. But both goaltenders have been perfect. Two non-senior netminders, the junior Charlie Trapp on Loyola's side and the sophomore Thomas Preston for the Glenbrook South Titans. Now to Hoffman, nice reception at the blue line, got it to Dwyer, nice pass, here's the shot, and another save made by Preston. Number 24. Now Asher Vanderploeg. To Kosmeter, Titans will have to wait to be onside. And Kosmeter will take his time retreating with Lochnicki pressuring. Kosmeter able to get around a couple. Owen Kosmeter takes a shot and a blocker save made by Trapp. Battled for near side, Luke Fagan at the point. Fires a shot, not a lot of mustard on that. Ramblers can't clear though. Here's McCrulis with a shot. Where's the puck? Almost looks like it snuck in.
I think he has it right underneath his, there you go. He had it just right underneath his right big pad. But I love McCrulis. He's been speedy all night, and he just kind of picks up this puck mid-slot and then tries to use the defenseman as a screen, and he actually gets it in there, and Trapp just made another great save. That's why folks were 0-0 here tonight. It's either Preston or Trapp that are, coming alive here. This is the beautiful break-in pass by Loyola, and pretty good move by Loyola, but it just didn't result in a goal.
Good offside call there by the linesman. 2:37 to go in the second period. Rosemont Ice Arena, the neutral site home for the SHL playoffs. And John, you might remember a few years ago, they did it at American Heartland Ice Arena, which is Loyola's home ice, the neutral site format. But I love bringing it out here because it's nobody's home ice in the SHL. Yeah, St. Viator and York played 1 or 2 regular season games as the home team here, but you're not giving any of these teams basically all 3 games at home, which was the case for Loyola 2 years ago.
And first of all, I want to do a shout out to Rosemont because this place is really cool and it's beautiful. And Dylan, when you told me where the game was tonight and you said Rosemont, I went, huh? You mean the Allstate Arena? And you said, no, this beautiful facility that's out there. And you were absolutely right.
Nice pass there. Finds Zach Boris. He's got a shot. That's blocked by Smiley and deflected into the far side corner. Boris pressuring Smiley. Knocks him off the puck. Actually, that's Donato, down in that corner. Puck being pinned up against the boards. Extended period of time. Titans get it free. Pass up high to the high slot. Weiss couldn't hang on to it. And it's knocked back in by Nick Pereno. Out of the zone it goes by Will Fagan and sent in by Boris. Near side Weiss. Smiley takes over and goes to Donato with it. Got 100 seconds here before the intermission. Pereno over the line, puts on the brakes, takes a shot blocked by the captain, Ryan Mulvey. Jonah Weiss out to the neutral zone. Waiting there is McCrulis, but it's just past him. He did get a piece of it, so no icing. As he tries to shot from a tough angle. Kosmeter was there waiting for a potential rebound, but no luck. Now Will Fagan intercepts in the neutral zone. Fagan sort of overskated his stick there, and the other way comes Loyola. Luke Jobert tried to slide it over, but a great defensive effort. No shot on goal there, 2-on-1.
That was Mulvey who put a stick on that and closed the lane.
Now Thomas. Down to Jobert, 44 seconds to play. Up to the left point, and unable to keep it in was Luke Gordon. So the Ramblers will have to tag. He'll dump it in, and the Titans will take possession. Near boards, just out of the reach of Cosmeter. And that'll be an icing stopping play with 29.7 here in the second.
Dylan, these games are kind of nerve-wracking, you know, like, I mean, if we go into this third period 0-0, these two teams, you know, the difference might be what the coach presents to them as they come out on the ice for this third period. But it's just a tough situation, especially the playoffs, where, I mean, you lose one game and you're already, it's do or die.
Right.
So that third period is going to really, really be important.
Yeah, that's the tough thing about sports is no matter how good of a season you have, there's only one team that can call themselves the champion. Every other team will end their season with a loss. Out to the neutral zone now. Asher Vanderplug. The Titans have time for one last second bid. Vanderplug, nice move. Tried to send a backhand pass to Cosmeter in the slot. And time will run out on period number 2. 34 minutes and nothing in either net.
Well, there's a lot of sweat on these players. I mean, they're giving it their all. They're playing a very, very speedy hockey game. Preston has had to make more stops than Trapp, 25-14. You know, I would say that he's been called on certainly more to make maybe even better saves, right? The shots are, tougher to stop, but he's handled every single one of them. So, now they got to go ahead and put, get their brains ready, and they got to think about what they want to do here and come out and execute in this third period.
The hero of this game is in one of those two locker rooms. Who will it be if not the winning goaltender? Someone's got to score at some point. There are no shootouts in the playoffs, so we will go to endless overtime if it comes to that. Don't go anywhere. We've got the third period right around the corner. Dylan Ward alongside John Ward and Gerard Boris, our video producer. We'll see in about 10 minutes or so for the third period of Game 1 of the SHL quarterfinals right here on the South Hockey Network. Welcome back to the South Hockey Network. Welcome back to Rosemont Ice Arena, established 2025, a beautiful new facility that's less than a year old to the date. We've got a great game. The Titans' first time ever playing in this building, and neither team has scored yet. Loyola and Glenbrook South tied 0-0, but there has been a lot of action here in this one. Thomas Preston, a perfect 25 for 25 between the pipes. Charlie Trapp, perfect as well, 14 for 14. And John, you think in this third period we're going to finally get that 1-0 goal, or you could see some 0-0 overtime here?
Yeah, I doubt. I just have a feeling. I didn't think it was going to go to overtime, even with a 0-0 score coming into the third period. But, Dylan, I was saying these are nerve-wracking games. I can't imagine what it's like for the parents, the coaches, the players. But the coach's job is to see if they can make their players less nervous, right? Because they're going to get their best performance, maybe with a little bit of urgency, but they want them loose, they want their heads clear, so that they can be as talented as they are.
Dylan Ward alongside John Ward here on the broadcast with you, and Gerard Boris, our video producer. Thanks for hanging out with us on this Friday night from wherever in the world you may be watching. It's Gavin McPherson behind us at the bar, peeking through the window. Got a great bar right in the middle of the two rinks that you can watch either rink out the window. It's just a really well-built facility here in Rosemont. And you talk about a rink that was just built a year ago. The no netting is fabulous.
Yeah, you just got to make sure you're watching the games at all times. You don't want to get knocked in the teeth with a puck. But Dylan, I do want to say that this is a really cool place because they've kind of built this nucleus going right down the middle of the entire rink, and inside, right past the last row of the seats, you have this establishment. It's a bar, TVs. You can see both rinks from both sides. Just kind of a cool design.
Blake Hoffer unavailable tonight due to illness. He is questionable for tomorrow night's Game 2. We hope, Blake, you're feeling better. I'm sure you're watching right now. The Titans have scored a third period goal in their last 6 games. Loyola with a third period goal differential of 11-6 in their last 6 games. And when we talked about off air, the team's record when tied after 2 periods, Glenbrook South 3-1-1 in the SHL regular season, Loyola 2-0-2. So anything can happen here. It's the playoffs. 17 more minutes of regulation hockey to see if we can find a winner or if we're going to need OT.
Yeah, the paper says both of these teams are closers, right? And so, you got a couple of really two groups of talented people, talented teams out here, and they'll fight to the end here. We got 17 minutes. Let's see what happens.
Back to our first period shooting sides. Glenbrook South in light blue and white go from left to right. Loyola in maroon and gold go from right to left. Fresh ice. No penalties on the board. Here we go. Jonah Weiss and Connor McCauley at the face-off circle. Titans win this one, and we're underway in the third period. Here's Tutai at the blue line, fires a shot. That's blocked by Donato. A quick chance for GBS. Now Loyola will rush the other way. Here's a shot from Luke Jobert, blocked by Will Fagan. Fagan has had a really nice game on the defensive side of things so far tonight. Yeah, he's put a couple good hits on, but even more importantly, he's been in the right place at the right time to stop offensive threats. Now here's Jobert. Luke Jobert fan on a shot. Can get that one past Will Fagan. Now sent down to the far side corner. Back up high, here's a shot. That deflects up and into the netting, out of play. 16-19 to go, and Gerard, who is doing it all by himself. Now Gail Weiss steps in to operate the scoreboard in the top left corner of your screen. Dylan, that last play we just saw here, I don't know which GBS player it was who tried to get that puck out of the zone, but that's what I was talking about. You got to be a little bit more purposeful. He tried to get that puck out of the zone, and the Loyola player picked it up right at the blue line, about 2-3 feet before it got out of the zone, and it turned into an offensive threat. You can hear the loud locker room music for either Lake Forest or York. They'll be going after this one. Game 1 of their quarterfinal series here in the SHL playoffs. Played to the near side. Dine gets there first, able to tip this one out to the neutral zone, and Kading will shove it back in. Will Fagan below the goal line to Kosmeter in neutral ice. Look to tip that one ahead, goes right to Dine, out to Blazejowski. Now Teddy McCrulis picks up the loose puck, intercepted by Kading. Max Kading over the line, left wing side. Couldn't get around a nice stick from the captain, Mulvey. Fired all the way down, right on net, no icing. Here's Maxim Kading now. Out to neutral ice, but blocked by McCrulis. He's got the puck, takes a shot, and a nice glove save made by Trapp.
I liked how McCrulis made that block with his pants, and then he actually turned that into a shot on net. I do think he's been the fastest skater tonight, even faster than Weiss, which is kind of like my all-time fastest skater, I think, on this team. But and he's out there on the draw now.
Jonah Weiss. This time the faceoff goes Loyola's way, but just for the moment. Now they will bring it out through neutral ice. Hoffman ahead. Going to tip it into the zone was Peter Lochnicki. Now Jackson Ventura. Out to the far side, Zach Boris deflects it in. Goes down below the goal line. It's picked up by Boris once again. Ventura, along with Dwyer and Gall, battling for possession in the near side corner. Boris comes free with it. Zach Boris below the goal line. Spins to elude one man. Now Dwyer able to take the puck from him, but he goes tumbling into the boards. And it's another board battle. They try and clear it out. Luke Fagan keeps it alive, takes a shot. Where is it? Ventura has it, and that's just high of the net.
Wow, those are two opportunities there.
Now Hoffman fire that one down. What a moment that could have been for Jackson Ventura. Just 2 goals in the regular season. And a big hit there by Gabal, runs into Luke Fagan. Meanwhile, here's a shot that's pushed wide. Now Smiley with it. Below the goal line. Lays it back to the near side for Donato. Donato around Graham Vanderplug, lifts it high in the air all the way down, and that will be an icing.
Dylan, I've always been impressed by Fagan's physicality, right? Here's a shot, just whistles over the net, then comes out, and actually the wrist shot then goes over the net. Watch this, 2 shots, I think, go over this net. The first one, it's the, well, there's that, at least that second one. But Fagan has always been putting a lot of, heat and a lot of hurt on other players. Well, he just took a huge hit in center ice. Really, guys were going fast, and they went crashing into each other. And Fagan got up but nothing happened.
And we'll show that to you if we have a second, but definitely wanted to look at that chance for Jackson Ventura during that whistle. We do have a replay of that if we have the time. Here's Graham Vanderplug behind his own net, goes over to Sokol. Sokol out to Mulvey. The defenseman Ryan Mulvey leads the charge as he's run into by Donato and lost his stick in the process. Meanwhile, below the net, Tubacanik centered it, looking for Vanderplug. It goes out to the neutral zone. Mendoza, far side, Pereno played it back. Asher Vanderplug couldn't get it by Captain Gabal. Now Graham Vanderplug getting in there. Teddy McCrulis, now finally Asher. Vanderplug into the zone, has to chase this puck down to the near side corner. Smiley knocks it away from him. Backhands it out to the near side, intercepted by Asher Vanderplug. Below the goal line, near side corner, Teddy McCrulis. Back up to the point, intended for Mendoza, but picked off by Luke Jobert. Now McCrulis to Kosmeter. And get around Patrick Dine. And another corner battle. Which netminder will blink first? Thomas Preston has not had to make a save in this third period yet. Pinto to the near side, Owen Kosmeter. Through neutral ice, Kosmeter steps across, lost an edge, able to fling one on net. And the save is made easily by Trapp. Nice effort to send that one towards the cage, maybe get a rebound, but no luck. Now Thomas, left wing side, and there's Preston's first save of the third period. Back up top, Loyola, near side dime to the slot. Jobert tipped it on net. Not sure if that was blocked or stopped by Preston. Preston lost his stick, and Will Fagan gives up his so that Preston can use it. Now he's able to give it back to Will Fagan and grab his own. Sent all the way down, and this will be an icing. What action there, but John circling back a little bit. Here is that hit you were talking about.
Yeah, you see that both players are they really come out of nowhere and just bam, really smash into each other, right? If Fagan gets right up, and you know, I could feel that one from up here. I think without the net there, Dylan, it makes me feel even closer to the ice. So,
and the no netting is great for you watching at home. It was a quick shot and a save into the glove of Preston. Still 0-0, 11:23 to go here in period 3. Weiss will match up with Kading at the face-off circle. Loyola wins this draw. Unable to settle it down at the right point. Gall lets it go past him and all the way down into his own end. Turnover, here's a shot by Weiss, and the save made by Trapp. Jonah Weiss down below the goal line once again, taken back by Maxim Kading. Here comes Kading for Loyola. Look at that one past a couple Titan defenders. Weiss out for Boris now. Near side boards. The grab possession back is Weiss, but taken back by Blazejowski. Out come the Ramblers, Christopher Gall. Down below the goal line, takes a big hit from Luke Fagan. Keeps the puck, however. Now Fagan will get to it. Here's a tough angle shot, Blazejowski, and a big save made by Preston.
Dylan, if you take a look at this again, we talked about Blazejowski's reach, right? And he's behind the GBS player, and he just kind of sneaks there and boom, hits the stick up, grabs the puck, right? So you got to be moving pretty quickly. You got to make faster decisions. You'll see right here, well, he just tipped up the GBS's player's stick and got a scoring opportunity. Almost caught Preston off guard there.
Face off at the circle to Preston's left is won by Loyola. Hoffman to the far side, but McCrulis will get there first. Teddy McCrulis in the neutral zone. Slides it along looking for Cosmeter, but past his stick, and Donato threads the needle perfectly. Of all the steel beams here at Rosemont Ice Arena, that was pretty cool.
You put a smile on my face.
No whistle. Ryan Mulvey up to Vanderploeg, gets around a couple. Nice pass back to Mulvey. Ryan Mulvey into the zone, takes a shot looking for that top corner. And it goes just high of the crossbar. Now the other way come the Ramblers. Here's Hoffman over the line, takes a shot, and an easy save for Thomas Preston.
Yeah, I think both Trapp and look at that cool move. Now watch that pass. He kind of curls his stick to get the pass. He uses the momentum, and then the wrist shot just sails right over the net. I think it maybe even knocks off. Yeah, it just goes obviously way too high.
Under 10 minutes to play in regulation time. Loyola wins the face-off. Donato with a shot deflected right to Jobert, who lets one fly, and that misses the cage. Now Ryan Mulvey, our side, Will Fagan looking to get it out past Jobert. He does. Here comes Daniel Sokol, and he'll just send it in and go off for a much-needed change. Now Donato, Thomas. And Tutai gets sandwiched by McCauley and Thomas, but meanwhile, here comes Weiss. Down the right wing side, shoots it! And that one wouldn't go. Couldn't tell if that was stopped by Trapp or not. Now the other way come the Ramblers. Connor McCauley, his older brother, played for this Glenbrook South Titan team 2 years ago. Luke Fagan and Thomas getting into it, far side corner. And trying to get it out as Weiss. He finally will, up to Tutai. Alex Tutai sends it in. Near side boards, and down below the line, Smiley. Off the glass and out to Thomas, leaves it for McCauley. Connor McCauley, down to Pereno. Below the line, Luke Fagan lost his stick. trying to defend. Goes to the far side, Gabal now sends it towards the net. Turned away by Preston. Donato, tough angle shot, and a nice save made by Preston. Good effort from Donato to get that on net from a near impossible angle. Now a man's tripped up, and Titans might be lucky to not see anything called there.
No, he just tripped by himself.
All right, I stand corrected. Thank you, John. That's why it's always good to have a partner in the booth with me for these big games. John Ward will be joining me again tomorrow night for game 2 of this series. Almost kind of feels like a West Bend Power weekend. We're Friday, Saturday, same matchup, same building. We're on the west rink of Rosemont Ice Arena. Tomorrow night we'll be on the east rink. As for the other 3 series, SHL Network will have you covered with a triple header. Now Ryan Mulvey is smacked into the corner boards by Radel. Daniel Sokol takes this puck back for the Titans. Off the far glass and out, deflected all the way down. Right on net again. Boy, how many times have we seen that today? Dine for Blazejowski. Can he get around Vanderploeg? Could not, but Boris touches the puck just offside. We get a whistle with 7:27 to go in the third.
Yeah, Blazejowski, I probably can't say enough about him. I don't know, he's just kind of that reach, but right now we still are 0-0, 7:27 left to go in the game. 31 shots for Loyola, 19 for GBS, but this is a real nail biter now.
Neutral zone face-off, taken by the Titans. Now the Ramblers get it back. Thomas Tingle out to the neutral zone, intercepted by the stick of McCrulis, and now hacked in by Braden Mendoza. Loyola with it in their own end. Jack Blazejowski, nice no-look pass, goes to Max Kading. Kading across the line, left wing side, takes a shot, tough angle, and that goes wide of Preston's net. Rebound Tingle with a shot, that gets blocked, and out come the Titans the other way. Knocked ahead by Cosmeter, good give and go, gets it back from McCrulis. Now Asher Vanderploeg with a shot, and a save made by Trapp. He'll hang on. Titans' best chance of the third period.
Boy, that was a great breakout, McCrulis. Kind of just a little tiny pass here, but he hits the GBS player, and Vanderploeg probably has been ready to shoot one all night long, and Trapp made a great stop on him to keep this thing deadlocked.
Asher Vanderploeg on the SHL season, 16 goals. That's the team lead. He came 3 points shy of Cosmeter and Hoffer for the team lead in points, but did lead the team with 16 goals. Now Lochnicki the other direction, crashing the net, knocked away by the stick of Preston. Now the Titans bring it back out. Here comes Teddy McCrulis over the line, takes a shot, and that's stuffed by a couple of Rambler sticks. Meanwhile, Asher Vanderploeg finds some space, takes a shot. What a block made by Smiley. Keeping that one from hitting the cage. Now Will Fagan takes a shot, and that's blocked by his own man, I believe, Asher Vanderploeg. Smiley looking to clear it out, cannot. Will Fagan centers it. Vanderploeg shoots, save, rebound, they score! The second effort banked home by the sophomore Teddy McCrulis, and the first goal of the hockey game comes with 6:08 to go, 1-0 South.
Wow, we'll take a look at this replay. You can just see how tenacious GBS was. There comes the centering pass to the slot. Quick backhander by McCrulis, and it goes right back to his forehand, and all he has to do is chip it up into the corner here. You'll see this first shot, backhander by McCrulis, and then he just chips it up there. And you know, he's had a fantastic speedy night, right? So he deserves that.
Teddy McCrulis with his first career SHL varsity playoff goal. Right there. That'll be his 18th on the overall season to go along with his 9 in the SHL regular season. What a year it's been for him. Really defended that varsity spot he earned this season and proved it that he belongs. But the game far from over. 5:30 to go. Near side, Luke Jobert. Down to Thomas, centered at McCauley, takes a shot, and that's stopped by Preston. He'll hang on for a whistle. And Connor McCauley needed to be held back by Jobert. He had some words after the play.
That was a great stop by Preston, because I don't know if he got caught off guard here, but you can see Connor McCauley, now he's going to stay right in that little position, and he gets a little chip shot between, don't know who this GBS player is here, but he's right in between him and the goalie, and Preston will still be able to concentrate and keep that puck out of the net.
Face-off won by Loyola. Here's a shot from Donato. That one way wide of the net. Moreno towards the net, deflected by Gabal, and a big save made by Preston. Tutai looking to get it out of the zone, kept alive at the point. Here's a shot, that one blocked on its way. Now Tutai will recover it. Get it out to Charlie Preston. One-on-one with Donato, he'll just shove it in. Trapp makes the save, then makes the pass to Gabal near side. Tutai takes it away, sends it down low. Around the boards it goes to the far side for Moreno, trying to clear it out. Vanderploeg sends it right back down. Donato to the far side. Vanderploeg keeps it in the zone again. 4.5 to go as the puck sent out by Loyola to neutral ice and now backhanded into their attacking zone. Dylan Ward and John Ward on the call with you. Donato winds one up and fires, and a save made by Preston. And then from the corner, he'll just let that one float into his glove.
Will Fagan got a big piece of puck on this one. Donato with a puck up on end as this comes around the boards here. You'll watch the shot come around, and it comes around.
This is a little earlier, I believe.
Okay.
This is the deflection.
But Donato took a big blast, and wow, what a stop, because that's a really cool redirection by Loyola. Right, sometimes that's all you need to do. You just keep your eye on the puck, keep your eyes wide open, and then you can get those tips there. But Preston just really made a game-saving stop there. I think I've said that about 4 times tonight. Trapp maybe once or twice, but we got offsetting penalties.
Oh yeah, it looks like it. It's a good pickup by you, John. I didn't catch that one in real time, but offsetting penalties will keep us at 5-on-5. I believe that's Asher Vanderploeg and Julian Gabal, both lettermen. But no power play as a result. Back underway here. Got a little time left. Trapp confused as to why that's not an icing. Still having words for the linesman. But we will continue on here. We're getting to that territory where we might start wondering how aggressive Scott Serralo might be in a playoff game. Head coach of Loyola to pull Charlie Trapp and put all hands on deck to try and tie this one up. Here's a nice pass by Weiss, finds Teddy McCrulis in on net, shoots, and it looked like he almost had his second goal of the game right there, but just missed the cage.
Wow, that's really unfortunate. You could almost see that part of the net. Watch McCrulis come in here. I think he's a little surprised he's got this much, and he's actually looking for that upper right-hand corner right over Trapp's left shoulder.
Right at the crossbar.
Let's take a look here. He did. Wow, a game of centimeters.
3:38 to go in the third period. Both teams still with their timeout. Let's see how this one ends, as that threads the needle of the ceiling again. And no whistle. McCauley takes a hit from Boris near side boards. Now played out, Tubuchanik racing after it. And their first is Loyola. Out to Ventura, who intercepts and sends it back in. Luke Jobert. Don't want the puck to be on his stick here in the dying moments of the game. Jobert with 14 points in his last 6. Taken away by the Titans. Here's Tubuchanik. And this one out to the neutral zone. Tingle intercepts. Titans fans want a holding penalty. Drawn by Tubuchanik, but no luck. Nick Thomas. Down to McCauley in the corner. Centers it. Jobert with a shot. What a save made by Preston. Now battle for the puck. Far side corner. Will Fagan will come away with it. And now Macaulay and Tubuchanik, a bit of a battle down below the goal line. Big hit there from Luke Fagan against Donato. And the Ramblers are offside. And now a little extra from Thomas against Fagan. Ventura comes in there to defend as well.
Dylan, that play was far over. Man, did Fagan put a lick on Thomas here. Or no, excuse me, Donato right here at the blue line. You come up, two big guys, boom. Donato goes down, but then also Thomas comes up to him at the end. And way after the play. So you got two angles of that. So Fagan got the better of it. I talked about his physicality. I mean, he's just kind of an exciting player that way. But I actually thought maybe Loyola was going to get tagged with maybe a roughing or unsportsmanlike conduct because it kind of came after Fagan after that. I think, way after.
John, if it's a regular season game in November, maybe. But in this situation, you know, the refs are just going to call the game a little looser. You don't want a penalty like that to be the determinant of someone's season now that we are in official crunch time here. Speaking of crunch time, Charlie Trapp still between the pipes for Loyola. Luke Fagan out to McCrulis. Weiss just onside. Jonah Weiss with a shot. Gobbled up by Trapp, and he'll hang on. Defensive zone faceoff for the Ramblers now.
That's a nice shot by Weiss as he kind of comes over this line. He kind of kicks. He's get the pucks kicked to him, and he just brings it in on his off wing. And I think it was, that's a pretty good stop by Trapp because I think the shot was called for a better save. It kind of looked kind of quiet, but it wasn't. Good shot by Weiss. If they can keep the puck down at this end of the ice, they should do well to walk away with a victory.
Coincidental penalties are over. Asher Vanderploeg back out there. He took that face off as it gets sent all the way down. Charlie Trapp starting to creep out. And now with an icing here, you'd have to expect he'll start this face-off on the bench and maybe even a timeout for the Ramblers. 1:53 to go in the third. It's been a battle of the goaltenders, and John, we called it pregame, and both these goaltenders certainly delivered. No timeout yet for Loyola.
Right? Loyola's got 6 players and an empty net.
Dine with a shot that gets blocked. A second follow-up save. Rebound. Oh, what a save made by Preston. And now out of position. Here's another shot. That stays out. Back up high, Dine. Top of the right circle. Sends it down low for Blazejowski. Penalty coming up against the Ramblers as this one sent all the way down. It will be an icing against the Titans. And with 1:34 to go, Glenbrook South is going to the power play.
Dylan, I'm going to have to see this stop again because from my angle, it was a gaping, wide open net. And somehow, I think, is that the right leg of Thomas that gets kicked out here?
Yeah.
Well, watch this. Comes in, yes, wow. If Thomas can take a look at that, I'd just be showing the grandkids I'd hold on to that highlight for about 100 years.
So this is an interesting rules situation. Normally on a power play, you start with an attacking zone faceoff. By the way, the guilty party is John Dwyer. But because the Titans iced it, and that was the reason for the whistle, instead of the possession going to Loyola, I believe the rules, you drop the puck in the neutral zone, and that is exactly what they're going to do. So as a result, Charlie Trapp is back in his net, and Loyola has no choice but to pull him and try to tie it up 5-on-5. This one's knocked in, and there goes Trapp sprinting to the bench. So with Loyola being shorthanded, it is 5-on-5 with an empty net. Here's Asher Vanderploeg sending this one out, and here goes Teddy McCrulis looking for 2. Backhander, a stick goes flying. That's going to be a goal, I believe, and yes! An awarded goal for Teddy McCrulis because of the Rambler player throwing his stick. I don't think the puck ever crossed the goal line necessarily, but that is a very clear rule. and he has got credit for 2 goals tonight.
It's a great outlet pass. He's just kind of coming in all alone. You're doing whatever you can, but as soon as you throw that stick, you're conceding the goal. And that's what he did. The refs are talking about it. I don't know what they could be talking about, unless maybe they're talking about a penalty afterwards of a takedown. But I love that. Makrulis scores the second of the night. He's been really, really great all night. And what was really cool is the snow kind of covered the first one on his 11 jersey. So he looked like he was number 1. So you got a happy bench for GBS. Minute and 10. They won't take this lightly either.
Teddy Makrulis, the sophomore. We talked about who's going to be the hero, and Teddy Makrulis has certainly delivered with 2 goals tonight. Yes, 1 into an empty net, but not for a great effort by him. By the way, there is a penalty, like you said. Patrick Dine goes to the box. He's only had 2 penalties against him in the entire regular season, 27 games. But he was one of the players involved at the end who was getting the stick in there. Really, I think 2 players kind of threw the stick. Let's watch it one more time.
I think it was
Dine number 12 is the penalty taker.
Yeah, he's the one that throws the stick, and then I think you've got 14 on Loyola, who's, you know, not giving up, and he ends up 14 ends up tripping him with his. He's trying to make a good defensive play. I like that right there, but then he also throws.
Yeah, both players throw the stick. So, John, what happens there is, I believe, first of all, it's a power play goal for the Titans, even though it's an empty netter. So the first guy comes out of the box. The penalty for throwing the stick is the awarded goal, right? Because that's a penalty shot if there is a goalie there. So that gets nullified, but because the second guy threw his stick, then that one goes, right? Because it's like the penalty doesn't, there's no power play if you score the goal, but because 2 guys committed a penalty, it is another power play for the Titans.
Right, and what I liked about Teddy Makrulis, I mean, what a great game. He was inside the net, so he ended up really crashing into the net pretty hard, and then he came out of the net, and he didn't even have a stick anymore, and he put his palms up and he goes, "Is that a goal?" He asked the referee, and the referee said yes, and then he skated to the bench for the big high fives.
So it's 5-on-5 again with an empty net for Loyola. Here in the playoffs, why not? 1:10 to go. It's not impossible. Loyola wins the face-off, and they'll send this one in off the end boards, and they'll get him for an icing there. Rambler coach is not happy, but let's watch it again, John.
I don't know what he's... Let's take a look.
Oh, well, you know what? It's not an icing because they're shorthanded. That's what they're complaining about, and that is a very real case.
That might be the ref who...
It's a pretty critical error. And that wipes away 6 seconds Loyola could have had back. And they'll drop the puck at center ice to fix their error. Loyola wins the face-off, and they'll send this one in again. This time the officials recognize it's no icing. Kept in the zone by Donato, but then forced out. Vanderploeg goes across. Jonah Weiss far side, looking to get a backhander on net. That gets blocked by Blazejowski. Down to 45 seconds. Here is Blazejowski for the Ramblers. They're going to need one quickly if they want any chance. This is cleared down. Here's Thomas near side. Puck taken by Loyola. Jobert intercepted. Owen Cosmeter towards the empty net, off the post. That close to a third for the Glenbrook South Titans, but time is running out on Loyola. Blazejowski intercepted in the neutral zone, cleared back down again by Weiss. 15 seconds to go. Blazejowski sending it ahead, looking for Donato, who gets tripped up, no call. Puck goes to the corner with 10. Will Fagan knocks a man down. Hating far side, centered it. Tipped out of the zone by Cosmeter, and the Titans have done it. Thomas Preston, a perfect 36 for 36. 2 goals by Teddy Makrulis, and the Titans take a 1-0 lead in the SHL quarterfinals. What a game.
What a game, Dylan. He turned back 36 shots. He's perfect. He's got the goose egg up there. He gets the rest on that tonight, and that's just going to be some good mojo going into the game. I will say that this rivalry was even, built up even more. A lot of tough hits at the end, a lot of upset players at the end. Probably more on Loyola, but they're going to go back and try to figure this out. I always love to see, any players from either team shaking hands afterwards, and there you just saw the two goalies. So I think they realized, the Loyola goalie realized what kind of a game Preston had.
Yeah, game-recognized game there. And, John, here, since it is a 2 out of 3 series, they save the handshakes for after the series, so that's why there's no line after this game. But, if you're Charlie Trapp or Thomas Preston, you got to show some love to your opposition in net.
Yeah, these guys are, hockey smart, and they know when somebody's played a really, really great game, and they're competitive. It doesn't mean they're not competitive and not going to come out and fight like hell, tomorrow night. But listen, we've talked about losing one game, and you're already on the brink of getting kicked out of the playoffs. So that first game is about as big as you get. Now GBS gets to play tomorrow night knowing that they got a little something in their back pocket. They'll love to close it out, but they would, even if they do lose, they're still going to have a third game.
I'll tell you what, you can certainly make an argument that Loyola was the better team tonight. 36 shots on net. Any other goalie in the state, and they're probably scoring maybe 3 or 4, if not more than that. So Thomas Preston, can't celebrate this one too hard yet. You got to do it again tomorrow, and if you can do it again tomorrow and close out the series, then you can take the breather and celebrate a well-earned series win. Speaking of that, Game 2, just a quick turnaround tomorrow night, 7:20 p.m., so an hour and 20 minutes later of a start time than the one tonight, but we're right back here at Rosemont Ice Arena, and I'll tell you what, we love the fact that you're tuned in from home. But if you can make it out here, come on out, because this was a great game to watch in person, and it's probably going to be an even better game tomorrow. Yeah,
Dylan, I was just going to do a little commercial for these guys. These are some talented hockey players playing at a great facility, and if you want to see this stuff live, just come on out, spend a Saturday night. Last thing I want to say about Preston, he gets to put his head on the pillow tonight and say, I didn't let one goal go in. Yeah. Right? And so that's going to be some positive stuff to bring for tomorrow night, and I'm sure GBS is feeling pretty good. Great all-around team effort by the Titans. We will see you tomorrow night right back here on the South Hockey Network, 7:20 p.m. Central, for game number 2 of this best 2 out of 3 series between the Titans and Ramblers. For everyone involved in our crew today, Gerard Boris, our video producer, Gail Weiss, operating the scoreboard in the top left corner of your screen. John Ward here to my left. My name is Dylan Ward, saying thanks again for tuning in. One more time, the final. Titans 2, Ramblers nothing, and the series score, Glenbrook South 1, Ramblers nothing. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great rest of your Friday.